there is nothing else we will do. You don't know why we need him. Law enforcement agency will write to you and say that we need you for interview. You don't know what happens when you enter the law enforcement office. You have no idea what it is that the OSP wants to do. And I'm saying that we can't take any statement. Who even told Ghanaians that?
Can you, look, listen, Sami Dako, can you point to the law? Point to the law specifically.
I know you want to have your day, but
no, I'm just saying point to which section. Which section says that it's only when somebody's been arrested that you can use the Act 807?
Of nothing.
No, don't go there.
Who told you Martin Kpebu? And as you've gone on this side, who told you that the OSP elite? Hold on, if I can finish. Who told you that the OSP wants
no, but the specific question was to, I think there was a question that was posed to you. It's not about Martin Kpebu specifically. It's a question that was posed to you. Now, what is the specific provision of the law? Does the law back what the position that you are espousing?
I said you have called the provision, and I told you that. Who even told you that the OSP wants Mr. Ofori-Atta to write a statement? Who even said that?
But if you don't need him, then what are you doing? What are you doing?
If you don't need him to write a statement, then what's all this about?
Who even told you that it's a caution statement the OSP wants? Because the law is very clear. A person can come to you and decide that you will not even talk.
Yes,
I'm saying that USP says that it wants Mr. Ofori-Atta in person. And he has offered to us that he wanted us to take his caution statement. Listen on. Martin is saying something differently because he is saying that he wants us to take his caution statement via video conferencing. And I've just told you that even in law, we cannot take a caution statement if the person has not been arrested. And I've gone on to also show to you that you cannot arrest a person via Zoom, let alone take the caution statement via Zoom.
He has a right not to incriminate himself, right? So you can get him and he still will be silent.
What is in the arrest?
So what would then the arrest be?
I just told you what you just told me, that Mr. Ofori-Atta can even decide not to talk. It's not our business.
Yes.
For investigators and prosecutors, that's not our business.
Yes. So what will be the consequence of the arrest?
And you want me to be able to tell you what you need him for. And I'm saying that I cannot even disclose.
There is no, let's come in this way. Mr. Dako, Sami Dako. Our constitution doesn't say that, right? You see, when you say arrest is touch and then inform him the offense is committed. That's the arrest, right? Now, he's not here to be touched and informed. What in the constitution prevents us from saying that, listen, so because you are not here physically to be arrested, we are going on that, look, we would, we have a case against you, X, Y, Z. So let's go on to the next process. This touch and inform him. That's the arrest. So in law, touch and inform him that we are taking you for this and do you need to take him into custody before you do anything? What is this restrictive interpretation of the constitution? Touch him and inform him.
I'm not going to have anything, any banter with you. I'll answer the post now. What you have just said is not new from what I just told you.
But you said with the arrest, you cannot go on with the rest of the process.
You just made a wrong assumption. And I've just told you now that your assumption could not be true.
But that's different from saying that with the arrest, you cannot do.
When I'm talking, please allow me to talk. Give me that chance. Over. I just had the opportunity to address.
Okay.
So if you could just allow me to address. I've addressed you specifically that Mr. Ofori-Atta has requested for his caution statement to be taken on the internet. We have said that throughout the law, if you don't arrest a person, you can't even take a caution statement. You will not now tell us that we should do that, because you are the same people that when we don't follow law, the slightest loophole, lawyers will take advantage of it. Allow us to do our job. We know what we are doing. In fact, we know what we are doing. And nobody is infringing on the right of anyone. Mr. Ofori-Atta has not been arrested by any law enforcement agency. So the suggestion that we could take Mr. Ofori-Atta via Zoom may not apply, because we cannot arrest a person through Zoom. We cannot take a caution statement from a suspect through Zoom. because the only time you can take a caution statement is when the person has been placed under arrest properly, so-called.
Right.
And let me also address the little issue about trying absentia. If you study our Constitution very well, Article 19.3 details how trying absentia should happen. And the conditions are about 2. It says that when a person, an accused, when we say an accused, it means that you have been arrested, charged, has a disruptive behavior, like that placing before the court will disrupt proceedings, or if the person having been charged, that is the accused, being placed before court, elects not to come to court at all. So there's a popular case called Kwachi, that is the Republic, which is like the case on it even ended at court of appeal. The whole idea is that the person must be tried in his presence, unless that person facing trial elects to say, I don't want to attend the trial, right? But we also do know that, how about if, so that's why it will even take international court. And it's the same principle across international courts of human rights matters. If you take the ICC, for instance, why do you think that they issue arrest warrants for people and put them on Interpol, heads of state, former heads of state? Why? Because they could try them in absentia. So why don't they try them in absentia? But they still insist that they should have been arrested and brought.
With declaration
Alfred, it would be very, very sad to see Ken Ofori-Atta being in handcuffs, dragged into this country.
Why?
I don't think it is something we want to see. Look, everyone is proven innocent and proven guilty. The offenses that are being charged Ken Ofori-Atta are grave offenses. If I were his people, I would advise him, especially when he couldn't make the 25th March surgery. He should have come back and told Ghanaians that I'm ready to come. Right now, if I were in his shoes and I were advising him, I would just say, come. Let's have this thing over and done with. I think the fear on his side, and it is my opinion, is that probably when he comes, his passport will be seized. They will not allow him to travel again because this thing about we're investigating so you can't go anywhere might hang over his head. But if the man is genuinely sick and he comes down and he needs to go back because of health, why would government say, no, you can't go back? I don't think President Mahama is that wicked to say the man is sick and because we are investigating him, he should stay. I think those handling him should be able to advise him to come, get this thing over and done with, and then we see where we go from here. Maybe the other side of the coin, the reason why he doesn't want to come back is that the implications of some of the offenses would also affect others. Typical. Cathedral. Who decided to use what money to dig a hole? Who decided it? Who was part and parcel of it? Will that expose others in that value chain, if I can call it a value chain?